Since the last kitchen tour on this channel, I have simplified and decluttered my kitchen space quite a bit, so I decided it's time to give you an updated version of this kitchen. And without further ado, let's get right into it. First of all, a little high-level overview of my kitchen. So I love this table. It's so cozy to sit there together when I have a guest over, for example, or just on my own, you know. But most of the times I actually eat here on my balcony. I also have some more chairs there when I have guests. And yeah, love this cozy balcony space. And then I also have this light chain. I don't have a lamp in here because I don't really like light from above so much. But yeah, in the evening I put this on and then also have light here. And it's so cozy. So yeah, but usually I eat during the day most of my food anyway, so I decided it's not really necessary to get lighting in here, or like a lot of lighting. Alright, let's start with the sink area. So I have some cloth for cleaning the surfaces, and then I also have this wooden brush which I use for cleaning dishes, and then I also have another one. This one is for cleaning bottles because this one I cannot put into bottles, so that's why I got that one. Otherwise I would probably just stick to one. And then this one I also use for cleaning surfaces, and I have some dishwashing soap which is perfume free and cruelty free. And yeah, then here I have my cutlery, and this used to be super cluttered and filled up with lots of different things and different knives. But I realized that I use the same every time anyway, so I decided to simplify it. And whenever I clean some of this, I put it right in here to dry. And I also have my wooden spoon, which I eat with pretty much every day. And yeah, that's all the cutlery I have. I don't have any more. Usually the most amount of guests I ever have is 2, so in that case then that's more than enough. And then I use the same knife every time anyway, so I decided to just have this one, and then I have this peeler, which is a really great peeler. And then moving on to, yeah, I usually hang some bananas because that helps with the ripening of them. And then I have my very trusty and nice zoodle machine, and I also have my stick blender. So I don't have any fancy other blender. This blender is so good that I've never felt the desire to upgrade to anything bigger or more fancy than that, and it gets the job really well done for nice creams and smoothies. And yeah, so this is kind of the Ferrari among the stick blenders. In Germany, the brand is actually called Magic Wand, but because the name that the brand is called originally, which is Bamix, has already been taken, so they took the name Magic Wand or Zauberstab. And yeah, then I also have watermelon, the second one of the season. I already had a little bit earlier, and I'm actually quite surprised how good these are. But yeah, I'm so excited that watermelons are back in season. Yeah, then I have something here for drying things. And yeah, when I have plates and stuff, I usually just put them there, let them dry by themselves. And then my cooking space, which is very minimal. But if you know my channel, you know that I eat a mostly raw vegan diet. So I don't really cook that much, but if I do, I like to cook or steam inside these pots. And these are from IKEA because a lot of you ask me where they're from, but I don't think that they have them anymore. But I can highly recommend this kind of steamer. It's very practical. And what's really awesome is that I can put grains. If I want to have just a small bowl of, you know, rice or quinoa, I can put grains in a bowl, add a little bit of water, and then put that in here. And then I usually have a bowl of grains and then, you know, veggies and usually sweet potatoes, stuff like that together with it. So yeah, I really love that. And then you have minimal cleanup time, which is so nice. And yeah, I love making potatoes and things like that in here. And that's all I need. And then I also have my dehydrator, which I really love for making things like raw vegan pizza, which honestly, in my opinion, it tastes better than normal pizza. And usually I make recipes from Kendal's raw vegan pizza book, which yeah, I will put a link down below where you can find it, because yeah, those pizzas are just so cool and so good and creative. So yeah, very nice. And yeah, this is for trash bags, and these rubber bands are also usually very handy for things like frozen fruit. And then this is my trash system. So basically I just have plastic trash, and then I have compost. Here we're required, it's mandatory to use these kinds of bags, but because they're way too small, like the melons, I usually just have down here because yeah, they don't fit in there, and then I just throw the melons out like that. And then down here, if I have paper trash, I just put it there. And yeah, usually I don't really have much paper trash for some reason, but yeah, if I have some, then I put it here. And then I have some water and some chopping boards and a towel for drying. And then I have my trusty bowls. So I have one wooden one for salads, and I have one glass one and one plastic one. And plastic bowl I usually use for things like when I have frozen bananas, then I can put warm water in there, and then they can defrost, and I can make nice creams with my trusty stick blender. And then moving on to the spice section, and there I also have more things for steaming. Oftentimes I will use 2 layers, so 1 layer for like veggies, things like that, and then another one for potatoes. And yeah, then I also have an orange juice press, which I rarely use. I usually use this one because it's so easy to clean and it gets the job done really well. And yeah, I also don't have any fancy juicer. So yeah, and then I have a bunch of different spices and psyllium husk, and yeah, cinnamon, curry, paprika, gingerbread, Italian spice, and also coconut sugar, which personally I don't like shove coconut sugar or sugar on my food, but for me it's more like a spice. Like if I want to make a tomato sauce a bit more sweet, then I add a little bit of coconut sugar. But yeah, so that's what I have here, and cumin, and this is a really nice salad spice mix, and this is a nice chili spice mix with chili, paprika, and onion. And these two, one of these I usually put in my salad dressings. And yeah, psyllium husk. And then I have a little bit of plates and bowls here, and this is a new bowl that I have that was such a good investment, because I can basically, if I want to make an ice cream or a banana smoothie, I don't really like drinking my smoothies that much. I usually prefer to make it in a bowl and eat it with my wooden spoon. So then I can just put the bananas and the frozen berries in here, and then mix it with the stick blender in here, and then it will be done and I have minimal cleanup. So that's the kind of really nice system that I now have set up. And yeah, so those are the plates, and then back there I have one mug for guests, because I'm not really into tea, but yeah, if my guests want to have tea, this is actually a really nice mug that I got gifted from one of my mentors. It says "Believe in Miracles," which yeah, I think is really beautiful. And yeah, then moving on to my fruit ripening station. Yeah, so here I have tomatoes, apples, bananas, and then I also have a bunch of cherimoya, which I'm so excited about. This is what cherimoya looks like from the inside, by the way. Tastes like cream pie. So good. Yeah, so in here I usually put the fruit. It helps with ripening more quickly because it's nice and warm in there. And then moving on, here I have kitchen towels, a scale. This I actually use quite often for cutting apples because it's very efficient. And then this is something I got this year recently. I'm actually doing a no-buy year right now, but this is something I was like, I really need this so I can use this to make the knife more sharp, because it hasn't been that sharp anymore, and I didn't want to buy a new one, so I got this, and now it's so much fun to cut with this knife. And yeah, then I have these small little containers. These are nice for bringing things like just a small portion of, you know, if I want to bring some dates or some barley grass juice powder somewhere, then I can put them in here. This is my other Hurum juicer that I have. You know, I have 3 Hurum juicers. No, just kidding. Okay, I really need to stop with this because I'm making like advertisement for them. But yeah, I have 3 juicers. And this is the last one I have. So this is basically a nut milk bag. You can also use it to make coconut milk. And yeah, if I want to make like something like a celery juice, which I don't know, happens maybe once a year or something, I really feel like making some celery juice, then I just blend it up and strain it through this. It's actually quite quick and easy. So yeah, I don't know why more people aren't doing it. And I have some more of those cloth. And yeah, these are still left from, I had a distiller, but I'm currently going back to spring water again because it's less work, which I know it's not optimal, but yeah, maybe in the summer I'll go back to distilled water, we'll see. And then next drawer is, I have a bunch of glasses for making things like smoothies, nice creams, salad dressings. I just put the ingredients in here, blend them up with my stick blender, or if I want to bring a smoothie somewhere with me, then I also have this glass, and then I can close it. Yeah, all of these are able to be closed, and some glasses and water bottles. And yeah, I have a bunch of different water bottles for cycling or just for having them at home. And then here I have a bit of Tupperware or some like boxes, containers for bringing food with me. And then, but usually what I do is I just buy food on the go at the supermarket because, you know, a big part of what I eat is fruits. And so when I'm at the supermarket, I can just buy fruit. It's nature's fast food. And yeah, I have a sieve. Have a bunch of different tools here. I think that would maybe make sense to explain. So this is for, actually originally it's for making potato mash, but I rarely ever use it for that purpose. I usually use it to make my famous salt and oil-free Bolognese. So yeah, you can use it to make nice sauces. So that's what I use this for. And then I also have the spatula, which I use when I make the pizza crusts for my pizzas. I use the spatula. And then I have a nutcracker, a julienne peeler, and another spare peeler. And I have a big container for also blending things like doughs for the recipes I make, or if I want to have like a big smoothie. Oh yeah, and this is also really, really cool. So this is the grinder that comes with this blender, and I can basically grind anything in here, whether that's like buckwheat or, you know, seeds or nuts. If I want to make like a base for you know, a cake or like a pizza, anything like that, I can grind it up in here and put this on, and then just, you know, press on the button and then it grinds it up. So that's really nice because that way I don't have so many different tools, but I really just have the essentials. And then this is my cleaning area. So here I have different things for cleaning. I used to use these chemicals back there. I still have them because I don't want to like put them into the water system anymore. But yeah, you know, so I still have them. But now I have reverted to just using baking soda, white vinegar, and some citric acid. And yeah, have some more cloth, and this is for cleaning the floor, and this is the used cloth, and some laundry detergent, and also some more of these things. These are really nice for cleaning surfaces, and some gloves. And this is if I want to mix something, you know. Probably I don't really use it that much, but yeah, it's nice to have if I want to make something that isn't food. All right, do we have left anything? Oh yeah, of course we have the fridge, and we have the food stash. So let's start with the fruit stash. So I have a bunch of different things. Here I have lots of Russian buckwheat. This is roasted. So this one I just cook in the steamer together with veggies and sweet potatoes and other things. And then I also have quinoa and some lentils. And then I have a barley grass juice powder, which I have a link in the description down below. This is really, really nice. I love the taste of it, and yeah. All right, then I have some more grains, quinoa, millet, buckwheat, and then I also have oats, which I have these for so long already. I rarely eat oats. I don't know, I'm not really that much into oats. And then occasionally I also have some gluten-free organic pasta, spaghetti, and down here tomato paste and different spices and coconut sugar and sugar, which, you know, I don't think you need to like obsess about sugar, but I don't think you need to be afraid of it either. So I just use it to spice things up if I want to. And then I also have these dips. These are salt-free, and no, not salt-free, but low salt and also low fat. I already have them for quite some time, but I haven't really opened them yet. But yeah, I still have them as a little backup. And then last of all, the fridge and the freezer. In here I currently have a lot of grapes, which are really, really practical for bringing with me to work. So I usually just grab one of these bags when I go to work. Oranges, sweet potatoes, cucumbers, more cucumbers, lettuce, zucchini, celery, different things. And very important, I have my dates and my hemp seeds. These are usually the base of my salad dressings that I make for my salads and blend up with my stick blender. And also very important, vitamin B12, of course. And then last of all, the freezer. Up here I have frozen berries, frozen mangoes. Here I have some water. Oh, I usually put the water in here because I love cold water. Yeah, I can't drink water that's room temperature. And yeah, one banana. Usually I have a lot more bananas than that. Currently I'm a little bit low on bananas for nice creams. So I basically freeze them with the peel, and then I soak them in hot water for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then you literally just remove this, press it, and then you get out the banana, and it has the perfect consistency for blending for ice creams. Yeah, then here I have different veggies, and here I have frozen coconut milks, and yeah, I usually batch make coconut milk when I have a lot of coconuts, and then also some frozen tomato sauce. So yeah, that is my fridge. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see what kinds of foods I'm eating and preparing in this kitchen, then you can check out my What I Eat in a Day playlist, and I'll maybe see you there. Bye!